Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome back to online classes of Iqra First Boys Secondary Schools, a project of Iqra Education System. Dear students of class metric, in the last video lecture, we discussed about questions and answers, our reading comprehension activity on chapter number 15, An African Village. Before that, we have already discussed the whole chapter along with the keywords with their English and Urdu meanings. Today, we will cover the remaining question answers which we left yesterday. As we have already covered questions 1 to 6, we will continue from question number 7. So, you may take out your registers and keep your books open in front of you. Open page number 57 in your books, keep them in front of you, and then open your registers and continue from where you left yesterday. I hope you already have given dates, mentioned the dates English and Islamic, and you also have drawn the margin lines on a couple of pages so that you will continue your question answers from where you left. Question number 7. What is the center of activities? This is question number 7. I will add a little more information to this question. Instead of only writing what is the center of activities, we may write more and what activities are performed there. I will write down the question on the board. Here you are. What is the center of activities and what activities are performed there? So you remember we were talking about a courtyard in a farmer's hut right now. As you know, there are a couple of more rooms as compared to the past, when in the past the huts were small of size and they contained or consisted of only one room. And now farmer's hut consists of 2 or more rooms, and 2 or more rooms opening into a courtyard which is the center of the activities. What activities are performed there? As we discussed, children play, women folk do their work, and men usually sit around. They burn the fire there, they burn the firewood and then they sit around it and they talk about different things in their leisure activities. So this is all about the activities that are performed in that courtyard. I'm going to write it down as an answer on the board. You may copy it from there. But before that, you may write down the question. And remember, you have to skip one line after every pair of question and answer. Okay, so you may write down this question. Meanwhile, I'll write down the answer. And then we will discuss the answer. And then you may write down the answer to question number 7. The courtyard of house is center of all activities. Women folk work and cook there. Children also play in the courtyard. ये जो घर का उनके हट का कोर्टयार्ड होता है, बागीचा या सहन कह लें उसको, is the center of all activities. वहीं पर सारे काम वो करते हैं, जो इज्तिमाई एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं उनकी वो वहीं करते हैं. Women folk work and cook there. ख़वातीन जो होती हैं वो वहाँ काम भी करती हैं घर के और खाना वगैरह भी वहीं पकाती हैं. Children also play in the courtyard, और बच्चे उस वक्त इधर उधर कोर्टयार्ड में खेल रहे होते हैं. Now the next question is, what are their food crops? So we will combine this with the question, what are their food crops and who tends the food crops, or who looks after. Tends means to look after. So we will combine these two questions, question number 8 and question number 10. Then we will combine question number 9 and 11. Okay. I have combined 4 questions together. Questions number 8, 9, 10 and 11. Question number 8 is, what are their food crops? Question number 9, what are their cash crops? Question number 10, who tends the food crops? And question number 11, who tends the cash crops? So I have combined these 4 questions together and made one question, because these 4 questions are combined and asked in the board paper. Like the one I have written on the board, what are their food and cash crops? Who look after them? So let's answer this question, these 4 questions together as one answer. I'm writing it on the board. You may have a look at it and then write it down in your registers. Answer to these 4 questions. Plantains, yams, potatoes, groundnuts and pepper are included in the food crops of Nigeria. They are looked after usually by women, whereas oil palms and cocoa trees are the cash crops of Nigeria, which are looked after by men. So we have covered the answers to all 4 questions, questions number 8, 9, 10 and 11. This question is usually asked the same way in our board papers. This is why I have given you our 4 questions together as one question. And when you started your questions number 8, 9, 10 and 11, you can see that you have to skip one line here. I have drawn 2 lines to mention, to show you that there is one line skipped, and you also have to skip one line when you are starting a new question. Now I will erase the board and cover the remaining questions. Question number 12 is, what is made from cocoa beans? So I will write down this question on the board and then answer this. Okay, question number 12 is, what is made from cocoa beans? You remember when I was explaining you this chapter, I explained about it too. That they use cocoa beans and its powder, you remember, are also a major export of Nigeria. ये जो cocoa beans हैं और इसका जो powder है, ये दोनों ही नाइजीरिया की मेजर एक्सपोर्ट में से हैं. और इस कोकोआ बीन से बनता क्या है, लेट्स डिस्कस इन द आंसर. द फ्रूट ऑफ कोकोआ ट्री yields beans which are ground into powder. ये जो कोकोआ का ट्री होता है और इस ट्री में फल लगते हैं, फ्रूट लगते हैं और इस फ्रूट में बीन्स होते हैं. ये बीन्स जो हैं पीस दिए जाते हैं पाउडर की सूरत में, पाउडर बना दिया जाता है एंड देन इट इज़ यूज्ड टू मेक चॉकलेट. फिर इस पाउडर से चॉकलेट बनाया जाता है. Cocoa beans and powder are major export of Nigeria, and this is what we discussed in the chapter. Apart from these 12 questions which are given in the book, I have 2 more questions to cover. और जो 2 मज़ीद questions मैं लिखवा रहा हूँ, ये हमारे बोर्ड के पेपर्स में पिछले सालों में आते रहे हैं. So we have to cover these 2 more questions in order to fully cover the board examination question answers. Okay, so I will write down the question on the board, you may copy it down. Question number 13 is, why can farmers not rear cattle in major parts of Africa? अफ्रीका के अक्सर इलाकों में, अक्सर एरियाज में, पार्ट्स में किसान मवेशी क्यों नहीं पाल सकते हैं? The answer is, in many parts of Africa, the farmers cannot keep or rear cattle. It is because of a kind of fly called CC. The sting of this fly kills the animals. It also causes sleeping sickness among human beings. This is also a very important question which is asked in our board papers. Okay, now I will write down the last question of this chapter. Question number 14. which is also apart from the questions asked in the book. I will have to erase the board. So before I erase the board, you may pause the video here and write down these two questions along with their answers. The question is, why do the bush dwellers of Nigeria use wood at night? ये जो बुश में रहने वाले लोग हैं, बाशिंदे हैं, किसान हैं, ये रात में लकड़ी क्यों जलाते हैं? And the answer is very simple कि उनको रोशनी चाहिए होती है, रोशनी के लिए भी जलाते हैं, अपने आप को गर्म रखने के लिए भी जलाते हैं, क्योंकि ठंड भी बहुत पड़ती है, खुला एरिया होता है ना, और नाइजीरिया में वैसे ही ठंड बहुत पड़ती है। और इसके अलावा क्या होता है कि चूँकि बुशेस से मुत्तसिल फॉरेस्ट भी हैं, जंगल भी है, और उस जंगल में वाइल्ड बीस्ट भी होते हैं, वहशी दरिंदे भी होते हैं, तो उन वहशी दरिंदों से बचने के लिए भी, क्योंकि जब वहशी दरिंदे कभी भूले भटके इधर बुशेस साइड पर आ जाते हैं, इनके रिहाइश की तरफ आ जाते हैं रात के वक्त अक्सर, तो उनको जब दूर से आग जलती हुई दिखती है तो वो उस आग के करीब नहीं जाते। तो इस तरीके से वो अपने आप को बुश ड्वेलर्स जो हैं आग जलाकर इन वाइल्ड बीस्ट वहशी दरिंदों से भी प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं। ठीक है, आई विल राइट डाउन द आंसर, मीनवाइल यू राइट डाउन द क्वेश्चन। The answer to this question is, a pile of wood is lighted or burnt in the middle of courtyard of a house of an African village. This is done to get light as well as protection from mosquitoes, wild beasts and cold. This is the same answer we discussed, and this is also a very important question in our board paper. So you people must go through all these questions along with their answers. I am home assigning you to memorize these remaining questions. Memorize question answers from 7 to 14. Last time in the last video, I home assigned you to memorize question answers from 1 to 6, and now in this video from 7 to 14. My dear brothers, we will meet again in the next video lecture along with some more reading comprehension exercises to do. I will explain you and we will collectively solve them in our registers. Till then, take a lot of exercise, go to gyms, eat healthy diet, take all the safety precautions and follow the SOPs instructed by the government in your home and outside your home. Stay home, stay healthy, keep yourself safe, take very good care of yourselves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.